Donald Trump is the one person who appears most fearful of being killed before attending the UFC event on the day of his 80th birthday. Reports suggest that he and those around him are concerned about the possibility of a fifth assassination attempt. But here's the point. If you're truly that worried about your security, then why keep telling the media about your security measures over and over again? Why do headlines keep leaking details about a ring of steel, rooftop snipers, counter-drone systems, and elite security operations? People close to Trump are reportedly telling the media that they fear a potential fifth assassination attempt. At the same time, reports also indicate that concerns about a possible Iranian drone attack are being discussed. Now, I'm not saying the threat is real or fake. I'm simply saying that when a leader publicly reveals this many details about security concerns, questions naturally arise. Is this a security briefing, or is a political storyline being created? And the more information that keeps coming out, the fewer the answers seem to be. In fact, the red flags only continue to grow. According to several media reports, an extraordinary level of security has been deployed for the UFC Freedom 250 event. We're hearing about rooftop snipers. We're hearing about K-9 units. We're hearing about counter-drone technology, surveillance cameras, Secret Service teams, and coordination among multiple federal agencies are all reportedly part of the operation. But once again, the same question emerges. If the event is truly that dangerous, why is it happening at all? And if the security plans are so sensitive, why are they being made public? Some of the media coverage looks less like objective reporting and more like an image-building exercise. The headlines often portray Trump as a fearless figure attending the event, despite alleged death threats and concerns for his safety. But from the taxpayer's perspective, the story may look very different. Massive federal resources, extensive security deployments, transportation disruptions, airspace concerns. The question is whether all of this represents genuinely necessary security measures, or whether public resources are being used in an unprecedented way to protect what critics describe as a political spectacle. In fact, Trump's supporters frequently point out that he has survived multiple assassination attempts over the past 2 years. But when each individual case is examined closely, many unanswered questions remain. The biggest example is Butler, Pennsylvania. Even today, controversy surrounding records from that incident has not disappeared. Many documents remain heavily redacted. Debates continue regarding the release of information, and critics argue that the public still has not been shown the full picture. But questions also exist regarding other incidents. Some suspects never got anywhere near Trump. Some were stopped and arrested at security checkpoints. In certain cases, mental health issues became the dominant focus of reporting. These are all extremely serious matters that deserve proper investigation. Yet, when every incident is repackaged into a dramatic assassination narrative, people naturally begin asking, is the public receiving the full context? Or are separate, isolated incidents being combined into one larger political storyline? But that is exactly why demands for transparency continue to grow. One of the main arguments made by Trump's critics is simple. These threats are truly this serious, then there should be maximum transparency. Even former Trump allies and prominent right-wing figures have raised questions about the Butler investigation. The names of Tucker Carlson and former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino have appeared in this debate, with allegations that not everything related to the investigation has been fully disclosed to the public. Now consider the irony. Disclosed to the public. On one hand, the administration and its allies are discussing warnings about a potential Iranian drone threat. On the other hand, controversies and unanswered questions surrounding previous incidents still remain unresolved. That's why tonight's UFC event is more than just a sporting spectacle. It's also a political test. Are these genuine security concerns? Or are we witnessing a carefully managed narrative involving fear, publicity, and political messaging? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is clear. The more information that leaks out, the more questions emerge. And when questions begin to outnumber answers, controversies don't disappear. They grow. Now let's talk about the angle that has attracted the most attention: the Iranian drone threat. Numerous reports, citing unnamed sources, claim that security officials are concerned about possible drone attacks. Some reports have even suggested that Iran could potentially target Trump in retaliation for the 2020 killing of Qasem Soleimani. Look, threats should never be taken lightly, but questioning the timing is also fair, because this narrative is emerging at the exact same time that Middle East tensions, Iran policy, and Trump's foreign policy decisions are once again dominating headlines. And when the public is repeatedly told that Iran may be coming after Trump, he begins to appear less like a political figure and more like a wartime target. Those perceptions can be politically powerful, because when supporters constantly see their leader as being under threat, criticism tends to fade into the background while sympathy moves to the forefront. That is why critics are asking, is this an intelligence-based warning? Or is it a narrative that portrays Trump as both a permanent victim and a permanent hero? And when media outlets publish dramatic headlines about drone threats, fear and speculation often spread faster than facts. At the moment, the public mostly has claims. But how much evidence is there? That remains the unanswered question. And there is another major question in this story that very few people are discussing. If the threats are truly this dangerous, the assassination risks are truly this high, if Iranian drones, lone wolves, and overseas plots are all considered possibilities, then why is so much information being shared with the media? Security experts generally follow a simple principle. The less information that becomes public, the more secure the operation tends to be. But here, the opposite appears to be happening. People are being told where snipers will be positioned, where counter-drone systems will be deployed, how extraordinary Secret Service preparations have become, how federal agencies are operating on full alert. And then the public is expected to simply be impressed. Opponents argue that this is the point where the story shifts from security into political branding, because when every headline focuses on danger, when every article is filled with assassination fears, when every interview highlights extraordinary threats, public discussion moves away from policy and toward personality. And perhaps that's the most important point of all, because today people aren't talking about the economy. They're not talking about foreign policy. They're not talking about government performance. Instead, everyone is talking about one thing: how much danger Trump is supposedly facing. And when political conversation revolves entirely around threat narratives, some people begin asking, is this a security strategy or is it a communication strategy? Because those are two very different things. And this is where the story becomes even more interesting. The more attention being devoted to potential future threats, the fewer answers seem to be coming about in past incidents. It has been nearly 2 years since the Butler shooting. Many records remain heavily redacted. The public still does not have a complete timeline, and many questions remain unanswered. When demands for transparency are raised, the public is often told that the investigation has been completed or that the matter is closed. But critics are not satisfied with that explanation. Their argument is straightforward. If a former president was attacked, then the public deserves maximum information, maximum transparency, maximum accountability. Yet more heated discussion continues to surround the documents that have not been released than the information that already has been. That is exactly why conspiracy theories never seem to disappear. When information is missing, speculation rushes in to fill the gap. Meanwhile, statements from Trump allies and former allies continue to add to the confusion. Some argue that the investigation was never properly explained to the public. Others claim the public still has not seen the full picture. And some are directly questioning the administration's transparency. And the result, the more secrecy the government displays, the less trust the public has, and once trust is broken, rebuilding it becomes extremely difficult. That is why today's controversy is not just about drones or security. It is a controversy about credibility. And battles over credibility can be more dangerous than almost any other political fight. Tonight, when cameras focus on UFC Freedom 250, when commentators show the crowd, when headlines praise the security operation, I want you to remember one simple question. What is this story really about? Is it about a sporting event? Is it about a presidential appearance? Or is it a carefully constructed political spectacle where fear, security, and media attention combine to create a narrative? On one hand, we're told the threats are unprecedented. On the other hand, those same threats are served to the public as national headlines. On one hand, we're told secrecy is essential. On the other hand, security details themselves become the centerpiece of media reports. And that contradiction has forced many people to ask questions. Because when everything is presented as a crisis, when every event is described as historic, when criticism is pushed aside and fear is placed in the spotlight, then in a democracy, skepticism is not only allowed, it's necessary. Whatever happens tonight, one thing is clear. People want facts. People want transparency. People want answers. Because when governments and powerful political figures begin avoiding questions, it becomes the responsibility of citizens to ask even more of them. I want to hear your opinion. Do you believe this is a genuine security issue? Or is it simply a political narrative being amplified through the media? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoy this kind of fact-based political analysis, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next video.